something feels different this time. The Fallout Season 3 trailer doesn't explode into chaos right away. It doesn't rush. It doesn't scream. Instead, it quietly reminds us that the wasteland never forgets, and it never forgives. From the very first moments, there's this heavy feeling hanging in the air, like every choice made in Season 2 is finally coming back to collect its debt. This isn't just about survival anymore. This is about consequences. And Season 3 looks ready to tear everything open. Lucy's journey feels like it's entering a darker phase. She's no longer the girl discovering the wasteland for the first time. The trailer hints that she's carrying emotional scars that won't heal easily. Her confrontation with her father changed her forever, and you can feel that weight in every quiet moment. Lucy doesn't look confused anymore. She looks determined. But determination in the Fallout world usually comes with a price. And the question is, how much is she willing to lose to stop what's coming next? The mind control technology introduced in Season 2 doesn't feel like a closed chapter at all. If anything, the trailer suggests it's about to spread even further. The danger isn't just the device itself. It's the idea behind it. Control instead of choice. Obedience instead of humanity. And somewhere deep in the vaults, Phase 2 is moving forward, slowly, coldly, without mercy. You can almost feel Vault-Tech's shadow stretching across the wasteland again, reminding everyone that the old world's mistakes were never buried, just delayed. Then there's the Ghoul. His story feels heavier than ever. The trailer doesn't show him much, but that's what makes it unsettling. His hope, tied to that Colorado postcard, is fragile. Hope is dangerous in Fallout. It pushes people forward, but it also leads them straight into suffering. If Barbara and Janie are alive, the Ghoul will face horrors worse than anything he's already survived. And if they're not, then everything he's endured has been for nothing. Either way, Colorado doesn't look like salvation. It looks like a test meant to break him completely. The wasteland itself feels angrier. Mutants feel more aggressive. The land looks harsher. Even the silence feels threatening. It's as if the world knows something terrible is coming and is holding its breath. The trailer hints at multiple forces moving at the same time, each with their own agenda, each convinced they are right. And that's what makes Season 3 so dangerous. There is no clear villain anymore. Just people, factions, and ideologies colliding in a world that has already lost everything once. And somewhere in the middle of all this chaos, war is quietly being prepared. Not the kind that starts with explosions, but the kind that starts with decisions made behind closed doors. Decisions that will send thousands to their deaths without warning. Season 3 doesn't feel like a continuation. It feels like an escalation, like Fallout is finally stepping into its most brutal chapter yet. As the trailer slowly unfolds, one thing becomes impossible to ignore. The wasteland is no longer reacting to chaos. It's preparing for it. Every faction seems to sense that a massive shift is coming, and instead of hiding, they're positioning themselves to strike first. Season 3 isn't about random survival anymore. It's about power. Who controls it, who abuses it, and who gets crushed underneath it. Maximus stands out immediately. Even when he isn't front and center, the trailer treats him differently now. He's no longer portrayed as someone trying to prove himself. He already did that. Standing against a Deathclaw with nothing but a shield and a pipe changed how the wasteland sees him. More importantly, it changed how he sees himself. Season 3. Maximus feels like a man being pulled toward responsibility whether he wants it or not. And responsibility in Fallout usually leads to impossible choices. The presence of the new California Republic feels much stronger this time. They no longer seem like distant observers or a last-second rescue. The trailer hints that they are actively preparing for war. Organized, armed, focused. And that changes everything. Because once the NCR fully commits, the wasteland doesn't just suffer, it burns. Maximus being saved by them wasn't just a heroic moment. It felt like a recruitment, whether spoken or not. And that raises a dangerous question. Will Maximus fight alongside them or against them? At the same time, darker forces are clearly moving in the background. The Enclave doesn't need screen time to feel threatening. Their power has always been in secrecy. The trailer's subtle hints suggest they are planning something devastating, something designed to wipe out entire factions without ever stepping into the light. They don't want control over the wasteland. They want a reset. And if they succeed, no one will even understand what hit them. Then there's the Brotherhood of Steel. The words Quintus the Destroyer is born are chilling, even without context. Fallout has always shown that the Brotherhood can either be saviors or monsters, depending on who's leading them. And Quintus doesn't sound like a man interested in balance or mercy. If the Brotherhood enters this war under his command, the devastation will be unlike anything we've seen so far. Technology will no longer be preserved. It will be weaponized without restraint. Lucy's role in all of this feels deeply personal now. She's no longer just running from danger. She's connected to it. Her mother's identity, Steph's rise, and Vault-Tec's Phase 2 have placed her at the center of a conflict she never asked for. The trailer shows Lucy caught between the vaults and the wasteland, between stopping tyranny and surviving it. And that internal struggle may end up being more dangerous than any external enemy. Steph's influence looms over everything. Even without seeing her directly, her decisions are shaping the future. Phase 2 isn't just a plan, it's an ideology. A belief that people must be controlled for their own good. And if Season 2 showed us the beginning of that nightmare, Season 3 looks ready to show us its full, horrifying execution. Dictatorship inside the vaults, scarcity used as punishment, loyalty enforced through fear. The trailer doesn't give answers, it gives warnings. Every quiet moment feels like the calm before something catastrophic. The wasteland is aligning itself for war, and everyone seems convinced they're on the right side of history. But Fallout has never cared about who's right. It only cares about who survives. And as the tension builds, one truth becomes painfully clear. When Season 3 begins, no one will walk away unchanged. One of the most unsettling things about the Season 3 trailer is how it treats hope. It doesn't celebrate it. It doesn't glorify it. Instead, it treats hope like a weakness, something that can be exploited, twisted, and used against the people who still dare to believe. And no character represents this better than the Ghoul. His entire arc feels like it's standing on the edge of either salvation or total emotional collapse. The Colorado postcard changed everything. It didn't just give the Ghoul a destination, it gave him a reason to keep going. And in the Fallout universe, having a reason is often more dangerous than having a weapon. The trailer hints that his journey will take him far away from familiar territory into areas where the rules of the wasteland are even more brutal. Colorado doesn't feel like a place where answers are waiting. It feels like a place designed to punish those who go looking for them. What makes the Ghoul's story even heavier is the possibility that he's being hunted again. The Enclave doesn't forget. If they know he's alive, they won't stop until he's either captured or erased. And this time, he won't just be fighting mutants or raiders. He'll be fighting an enemy that believes they are fixing the world by destroying it. Every step he takes toward his family could also be leading the Enclave straight to them. Lucy's connection to the Ghoul feels more important than ever. Amroy. She owes him her life, and that debt isn't something Fallout usually lets slide. The trailer suggests their paths may cross again, not by coincidence, but by necessity. Lucy may need the Ghoul's experience to survive what's coming, and the Ghoul may need Lucy's humanity to remind him why he's still fighting at all. Together, they represent two sides of the wasteland, innocence lost and survival hardened into something unrecognizable. At the same time, the vaults are becoming a nightmare in slow motion. Phase 2 isn't announced with alarms or violence. It creeps in quietly. Rules change, resources tighten, people start disappearing. The trailer hints that entire vault populations could be wiped out, not by explosions, but by controlled scarcity. Food withheld, air rationed, medicine denied, and all of it justified as necessary, as efficient, as progress. Steph's transformation feels complete. She's no longer reacting to threats. She's eliminating them. Anyone who resists becomes an example. Anyone who questions authority becomes a liability. The idea that Chet or others like him could be killed isn't shocking anymore. It feels inevitable. Fallout has always shown that the most terrifying villains are the ones who believe they're saving humanity. Meanwhile, Norm's story quietly grows more important. He survived not because of strength or skill, but because of timing and pure chaos. The Radroaches saving his life wasn't just ironic, it was symbolic. The wasteland doesn't reward morality. It rewards adaptability. Norm choosing not to save the others may feel cruel, but it reflects the brutal truth of the surface world. Survival mode changes people fast. Norm now carries two missions that could define his future: finding Lucy and protecting Claudia. Healing her won't just require medical help. It will require navigating a world where compassion is rare and dangerous. The trailer suggests Norm may be forced to make decisions that permanently alter who he is. And, once again, Fallout asks the same question it always does. How much humanity can someone lose before they become just another part of the wasteland? As these stories move forward, the tension between personal journeys and large-scale war becomes unbearable. Characters aren't just fighting for land or power, they're fighting for meaning, for family, for control over their own minds. Season 3 doesn't feel like a story that will give us clear victories. It feels like a story that will test how much suffering each character can endure before they break. And with every frame of the trailer, it becomes clear that the wasteland isn't the real enemy anymore. The real enemy is what people are willing to become in order to survive it. As the trailer pushes deeper into what Season 3 is setting up, the scale of the coming conflict becomes impossible to ignore. This is no longer a story about isolated struggles. Everything is connected now. Every choice made in the vaults ripples into the wasteland, and every battle fought on the surface echoes back underground. Fallout is finally showing us what happens when all these broken systems collide at the same time. War in the wasteland doesn't begin with a single explosion. It begins with fear. The trailer subtly shows factions preparing, not just with weapons, but with strategy. Lanius's legacy through Lairda Leggett feels especially dangerous. Taking control of the Legion through deception already tells us what kind of leader he is. This isn't strength built on loyalty, it's power built on lies. And leaders like that don't stop once they have control. They expand. They terrorize. They prove their dominance through destruction. The new California Republic stands directly in his path. Their return isn't framed as heroic or villainous. It's framed as inevitable. The NCR believes in order, structure, and rebuilding civilization, but in the Fallout world, those ideals often come at a cost. The trailer hints that their war with the Legion won't be clean. Civilians will suffer, settlements will be erased, and soldiers like Maximus may be forced to choose between following orders and following their conscience. What makes Maximus's position so intense is that he doesn't fit perfectly into any faction. He's not driven by conquest. He's not driven by ideology. He's driven by purpose. That makes him dangerous to leaders who rely on blind obedience. Season 3 seems ready to place him in situations where there is no correct choice, only choices that lead to different kinds of loss. And that's what makes his story so powerful. Every step forward costs him something personal. The Brotherhood of Steel entering this conflict raises the stakes even further. With Quintus leading them, the Brotherhood feels less like guardians of technology and more like executioners of progress. Technology in Fallout has always been a double-edged sword, and under Quintus, it looks like that blade is pointed at everyone. His rise doesn't promise stability, it promises dominance, and dominance always demands sacrifice. Mr. House's presence adds another layer of tension. Vegas isn't just a location, it's a symbol of control through calculation. House doesn't believe in chaos or emotion, he believes in outcomes. The trailer suggests that he's ready to secure Vegas by any means necessary. And if he succeeds, Vegas could become the most powerful stronghold in the wasteland. But power like that never stays neutral. It attracts enemies, and it forces alliances that can't be trusted. Lucy's role in this expanding war feels more tragic than heroic. She's not trying to conquer or rule. She's trying to stop things from getting worse. But Fallout has never rewarded good intentions. Her connection to Vault-Tec's sins makes her a target whether she wants it or not. And the possibility that her mission could involve confronting Phase 2 directly puts her in the path of unimaginable danger. What's terrifying is how calm the trailer feels while all of this is being set up. There's no dramatic announcement of war, no grand speech, just quiet moments, tense looks, and a sense that everyone knows what's coming, but can't stop it. Fallout understands that the most frightening wars are the ones people walk into willingly, believing they have no other choice. What makes the Season 3 trailer so disturbing isn't just the promise of war, it's the feeling that no one is truly in control anymore. Every faction believes they're steering the future, but the wasteland has its own plans. And history in Fallout has always proven one thing. The moment people think they've mastered the world, that's when everything collapses. Inside the vaults, Phase 2 begins to reveal its true face. This isn't survival, it's experimentation. The trailer hints that Vault-Tec is once again using human lives as data points. Rules aren't designed to protect people, they're designed to observe them. How much pressure can they take before breaking? How fear reshapes loyalty? How obedience can be manufactured? And Steph stands at the center of it all, no longer hiding behind procedure or protocol. Steph's leadership feels colder than anything we've seen before. She doesn't need to shout. She doesn't need to threaten. The system itself becomes the weapon. Food shortages aren't accidents. Power outages aren't failures. They're tools. Anyone who resists doesn't just disappear physically. They're erased from memory. And that's what makes her rule so terrifying. People don't just die, they're forgotten. The possibility that entire vault populations could collapse from within feels very real. Asoit. The trailer suggests that scarcity will push people to turn on each other long before Vault-Tec ever has to step in directly. And that's the brilliance of Phase 2. It convinces people they are choosing survival, when in reality, every choice has already been engineered. On the surface, the wasteland grows more hostile by the day. Mutant creatures appear more aggressive, as if radiation itself is evolving. Raiders aren't just looting anymore, they're organizing. Territories are being marked, trade routes are becoming battle lines, and safe zones are disappearing faster than anyone can track. Survival now requires alliances, but alliances in Fallout are temporary by nature. The ghouls' journey into Colorado looms like a nightmare waiting to happen. Every hint suggests that the region is crawling with threats far worse than what we've seen so far. Mutant factions, experimental vaults, groups that never rebuilt after the war and instead embraced the darkness it left behind. The ghoul's hope may be the only thing keeping him moving forward, but it could also be the reason he walks straight into hell. Lucy's path feels increasingly isolated. The trailer shows her separated from any sense of safety, moving through spaces that feel both familiar and deeply wrong. She's caught between the vaults she no longer trusts and the wasteland she can never fully belong to. And as Phase 2 tightens its grip, Lucy may be forced to choose between saving others and saving herself. A choice Fallout has never made easy. Maximus, on the other hand, feels like he's being pulled toward leadership, whether he wants it or not. People look to him now. They follow him. And that kind of attention is dangerous. Leaders in the wasteland don't get peaceful endings. They get remembered as symbols, or erased as warnings. Season 3 seems ready to test whether Maximus can survive not just combat, but influence. Norm's survival continues to feel like a quiet miracle surrounded by guilt. Healing Claudia isn't just about medicine, it's about protecting the last piece of his old life. And the closer he gets to Lucy, the more likely he is to cross paths with forces far beyond his control. Norm isn't a warrior, he's a survivor, and sometimes survivors suffer the most. The trailer doesn't offer relief, it tightens the tension with every moment. It shows a world sliding toward collapse again, not because of bombs, but because of choices. And as Season 3 approaches, it becomes clear that Fallout isn't asking whether the world can be saved. It's asking whether it even deserves to be. Maximus's evolution is perhaps the most quietly powerful. He doesn't chase glory. He doesn't seek power, yet power keeps finding him. The war ahead will demand leaders, symbols, and sacrifices. Maximus could become a rallying point for the new California Republic, or he could break away and forge his own path. But no matter what he chooses, the wasteland will remember him. And being remembered in Fallout usually means becoming a target. Norm's story reminds us of something important. Not everyone survives through strength or ambition. Some survive through timing, luck, and impossible choices. His mission to heal Claudia and reunite with Lucy feels small compared to the massive wars being prepared. But that's exactly why it matters. Fallout has always shown that saving one life can be just as meaningful as winning a battle, sometimes more. And above all of this hangs the wasteland itself, a world that never learns, a world that keeps repeating the same mistakes under different names. Empires rise, factions fall, technology promises salvation and delivers suffering. Season 3 looks ready to hold a mirror up to all of it and ask the hardest question Fallout has ever asked. If humanity keeps choosing control over compassion, does it deserve to survive at all? This trailer doesn't hype Season 3. It warns us about it. It tells us that what's coming will be painful, emotional, and unforgettable. Alliances will break, characters will change forever, and some stories will end in ways we're not ready for. Now I want to hear from you. Did this first look at Fallout Season 3 excite you or scare you? What storyline are you most worried about? And who do you think won't make it out alive? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe for more Fallout content, and stay tuned, because the Wasteland is about to remind us all why it never lets anyone go.